Hi, guys. Thank you for joining me in this podcast. In the mental health pandemic series, I'm going to cover all the topics related to depression, anxiety, stress, and mood swings. We will talk about COVID's impact on mental health, how it can worsen depression, the steps you can take to ease your mood. Guys, we all know that we are in a dual crisis of physical and mental health. Physical health crisis because of COVID 19, and mental health crisis because it seems to be an anxiety pandemic too. Isolation because of the lockdowns, anxiety, economic uncertainty, and the daily onslaught of bad news generated by the coronavirus pandemic is taking a heavy toll on everyone's mood. If you feel anxious or sad, relax because you are not alone. This is the picture of the entire world right now. The good news is that there are ways to improve your mood and ease depression. However, before that, we need to understand what depression is and how this pandemic can impact it. Guys, the stress of social isolation, the worry about jobs, money, and health, and the profound feelings of loss that many of us are experiencing at the moment can trigger depression for the first time or worsen the symptoms if you have already been diagnosed. When you are suffering with depression, life can seem overwhelmingly bleak and hopeless. It can interfere with your ability to think straight, drain your energy, and make it difficult to get through the day. Even as some countries and regions begin to ease stay-at-home restrictions, it seems unlikely that life will fully return to normal anytime soon. You may have lost your job, be struggling financially, and worried about if and when the economy will pick up. You could be grieving the loss of a loved one or the life you knew before the pandemic, or feeling frustrated and cut off by continued social distancing. Living in the age of coronavirus can have a profound effect on your mood. Here are a few points to explain how the pandemic can affect your mental health. Isolation and loneliness fuels depression. As we all know, human beings are social creatures. Being cut off from the love, support, and close contact of family and friends can trigger depression or make existing symptoms worse. Months of social distancing and sheltering at home can leave you feeling isolated and lonely, having to face your problems alone. A troubled relationship may be even worse than loneliness. While strong and supportive relationships are crucial for your mental well being, being forced to spend months quarantined in a troubled, unhappy, or abusive relationship can be even more damaging to your mood than being alone. Anxiety can lead to depression. All the fear and uncertainty surrounding COVID 19 means it's natural to worry. When your worries spiral out of control, though, they can cause panic and anxiety. Since anxiety and depression are believed to stem from the same biological vulnerability, one can often lead to the other. Stress levels are soaring. Experiencing a major change in your life, such as the death of a loved one, the loss of a job, being diagnosed with a serious illness, or financial or relationship difficulties, can bring overwhelming levels of stress. As a result of this pandemic, you may be experiencing several of these major stresses at one time, making you more vulnerable to depression. We are turning to unhealthy ways of coping. The boredom, loneliness, and stress of being in lockdown, struggling financially, or having to juggle a job and homeschool your kids can prompt unhealthy ways of coping. Maybe you are drinking too much, abusing drugs, or overeating junk food in an attempt to self-medicate your mood and deal with your stress. While these methods may provide a brief respite, in the long run, they'll make your mood even worse. So guys, as you saw, these are some of the common ill effects of COVID 19 on our mental health. But no matter what constraints you are living under at the moment, these strategies can help you counterattack loneliness, ease negative thoughts, improve your mood, and cope with symptoms of depression. First, limit your consumption of news. Yes, you want to stay informed, but over-consuming sensationalistic news or unreliable social media coverage will only fuel your negativity and fear. Limit how often you check news or social media and confine yourself to reputable sources. Second, maintain a routine. Sleeping too much or too little, skipping meals or exercise, and neglecting your personal care only feeds into your depression. Establishing and maintaining a healthy routine, on the other hand, adds structure to your day, even if you are alone and out of work. Try to include set times for exercising, spending time outside, and communicating with friends each day. Third, express gratitude. When you are depressed, especially at this difficult time, it can seem that everything in life is gloomy and hopeless. But even in the darkest days, it's usually possible to find one thing you can be grateful about. For example, the beauty of a sunset or a phone call from a friend. I know that it sounds cheesy, but acknowledging your gratitude can provide a respite from negative thinking and really boost your mood. Fourth, change your focus. There's no easy fix for recovering from depression, and finding the energy and motivation to take the first step can be tough. But you have more control over your mood than you may realize. It's true that these are painful and worrying times, but at the same time, depression can make things seem even worse than they really are. When you are depressed, everything is filtered through a lens of negativity. By simply recognizing that and acknowledging this fact, you can start to change your focus and take the first step to feeling more optimistic. Change your focus from negative to positive. Whenever a negative thought springs to your mind, shift to a positive thought, or simply tell yourself that this shall pass. Everything will be all right. Things will be better soon. Fifth, distract yourself. When you are depressed, out of work, and isolated from your social network, the negative thoughts running over and over in your head can seem never-ending. But you can break the cycle by focusing on something that adds meaning and purpose to your life. Perhaps there's something you have always wanted to learn, like a new language or a musical instrument, sketching, singing, anything. Or perhaps you have always wanted to write a novel, take up cooking, or grow your own vegetables. Focusing on a project or goal, even a small one, can give you a welcome break from negative thoughts and worries, and add a sense of meaning to your days. Sixth, find simple sources of joy. While you can't force yourself to have fun or feel internally happy, but you can push yourself to do things that will boost your mood throughout the day. Try listening to uplifting music, even getting up and dancing around if you can, or finding a reason to laugh by watching funny videos on YouTube or episodes of your favorite sitcom. Spending time in nature, whether it's walking in the park, paddling on the beach, or going for a hike, all of these can ease stress and put a smile on your face even if you are alone. Or try playing with your kids or pet. They will benefit as much as you will. So these were a few ways that you can improve your anxiety, but these were more self-help tips. I mean, you have to work on yourself, but you should also find new ways to engage and have meaningful conversations with other people. Meeting friends and family in person is still difficult for many of us at the moment, but that doesn't mean you have to resign yourself to feeling isolated and alone. While nothing beats the mood-boosting power of face-to-face contact, chatting over a video call on the phone or via text can still help you feel more connected. Reach out to your close friends and family, Take this opportunity to look up old friends or schedule online get togethers with groups of people. Even if your depression symptoms make you want to retreat into your shell, it's vital you regularly stay in contact with people. Whether you are talking with a friend or loved one at a social distance, via video or on the phone, it's important to strive for more than just a surface conversation. The deeper the connection you establish, the more you'll both benefit. Here are a few pointers. First, move beyond small talk. To really establish a connection that will ease your loneliness and depression, you need to take a risk and open up. Sticking to small talk and limiting yourself to a surface connection with others can actually make you feel even lonelier. Second, share about yourself. Open up about what you are going through, the feelings you are experiencing. It won't make you a burden to the other person. Rather, your friend or loved one will most likely be flattered that you trust them enough to confide in them, and it will only deepen the bond between you two. Third, nothing needs to get fixed. Remember, depression relief comes from making a connection and being heard by someone. The person you talk to doesn't need to come up with solutions. They just listen to you without judging or criticizing. And the same way is true when you are listening to them. So don't look out for a particular solution. Remember that when you will share things with them, all of you will feel better and relieved. Apart from sharing and caring about your mental health, adapting healthy daily habits is also important. Your daily habits can play a big role in helping you to overcome depression. During this health crisis, it's tempting to slip into bad habits, especially if you are stuck at home and not able to work. You may sleep irregular hours, overeat to relieve the stress and boredom, or drink too much to fill the lonely evenings. But by adapting a healthier daily routine, you can better your mood, feel more energized, and relieve symptoms of depression. Here are a few pointers to help you. First, get moving. Exercising is one of the last things you feel like doing when you are depressed, but it's also one of the most effective ways of boosting your mood. In fact, regular exercise can be just as effective as an antidepressant medication in relieving depression. Even if you are still under lockdown or a stay-at-home order, there are creative ways to fit movement into your daily routine. Second, practice relaxation techniques. Incorporating a relaxation technique such as meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, or a breathing exercise into your daily schedule can provide a welcome break from the cycle of negative thinking as well as relieve tension and anxiety. Third, eat a mood-boosting diet. In times of stress, we often turn to comfort foods packed with unhealthy fats, sugar, and refined carbs. But these foods, along with too much caffeine and alcohol, can adversely impact your mood. Instead, focus on fresh, wholesome foods whenever possible and increase your intake of mood-enhancing nutrients such as omega-3 fatty acids. 4. Sleep well. Just as depression can impact your quality of sleep, poor sleep can also contribute to depression. When you are well rested, it's easier to maintain your emotional balance and have more energy and focus to tackle your other depression symptoms. Changing your daytime habits and bedtime routines can help improve how well you sleep at night. 5. Use reminders to keep yourself on track. When you are depressed or feeling low, it's easy to forget the small steps that can help to lift your mood and improve your outlook. Keep reminders of the tips that work for you on your phone or on sticky notes around your home. Follow them as prompted to feel better. Guys, with this, we have come to an end to this podcast. I know that this was a long conversation, but thanks a lot for being patient and staying with me till the end. In the next episode, we will be discussing about the difference between being sad and being depressed, Friends, sometimes we are only sad or bored, but we start doubting our mental health. We have to understand that feeling sad and low is perfectly normal. However, it is also important to know as to when a person should seek medical help. I will cover all of this in the next episode, so do join me. Thanks for listening.